enough from me for the moment. I'm going to hand over now to some of my colleagues from some of the other patient advocacy organisations who are going to tell you a little bit about what they do and why we get together. So first of all, I'm going to hand over to Mélanie from France, from the AFM Téléthon.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Mélanie Bordes. I'm the group responsible of the French patient interest group of the French Association Against Myopathies, AFM Téléthon. And so our group is run by a team of volunteers that are all directly or indirectly affected by limb girdle muscular dystrophies, so different types of LGMDs. And what we do in France is on a national level. So we raise awareness of the needs of the LGMD patients in France, and also we inform about the hurdles that they encounter in their everyday life, in their care that they receive. And so just to give you an example, we've just recently developed an information sheet for emergency situations. The sheet is specific to the LGMDs. For example, what the emergency team needs to look out for, especially when it comes to heart involvement and respiratory involvement. And for now, the sheet is only available in French, but together with the Speak Foundation, we will also develop an English sheet. So if anyone is interested, you can download the sheet by scanning the QR code that's on the right side for you guys, on the QR code on the wall, exactly. And in France, we also regularly organize meetings between the patients where they can meet clinicians and also researchers, and where they can exchange the latest information. And of course, we also inform on social media and on our blog about the latest research developments, about clinical trials. And we also, of course, collaborate with our colleagues from worldwide colleagues like Speak Foundation, Cure LGMD2I, all other LGMD patient organizations which are here. And yeah, I'm really happy to see so many LGMD2I or R9 patients today. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Mélanie. Now, of course, we've been speaking a lot about Europe, but this is a global effort, and we have colleagues here also from the USA. And so Kathryn is over there. So Kathryn, would you like to tell us about the Speak Foundation and the work you do?
So I'm Kat Bryant-Knudson, and I have LGMD2I R9, and I thought I would explain a little bit about the journey of how the Speak Foundation started, but more so about just my personal journey. And when I was 6 years old, I started developing rhabdomyolysis. And if you've ever experienced that, raise your hand. Anybody know what that is? It's also kind of called myoglobinuria. That's another term for it. But it's when your muscles break down and your urine turns the color of rust. And you might remember it from those. You have high CK values. So as a child, I started developing these symptoms. And my parents took me everywhere trying to determine, like, what's wrong with our daughter. From that point, I kind of knew I had some form of muscular dystrophy my whole childhood. And I knew not to overexert because I would get really high CK and I would have rhabdomyolysis. So as a young person and in my teen years and in my 20s, I could do things still pretty good, but I felt very socially isolated, and it was very difficult because I didn't know anyone that had a condition just like mine. And so as a turn of events, in the United States, there was a competition, and there's a company that does shampoo, and I know this seems so unusual and like I'm making the story up, but they awarded one woman in America this national award to start a nonprofit charity, and I just happened to be the one that they gave the award to. And I hadn't yet thought a lot about what it would look like if I had a charity, but I found myself within like 2 months' time having to start a charity. And if you think this is funny, it gets even a little bit funnier, because then it became like national news, and then I was really having to start my own charity. So I was really thinking through, as somebody has muscular dystrophy, what I think is so important. And this was in 2008, and I was reading the scriptures, and I saw this verse that said, "Speak up for those who have no voice." And I was like, well, that is LGMD. We do not have a voice. We hardly even know each other. And that's when we started the Speak Foundation. And so from that point on, it's been a passion of mine to unite all the LGMDs so that we work together. And some of those things are our patient-focused drug development session, which was located in the US, but we worked with all of the other patient organizations, and that was so important because we wanted to inform drug developers and regulators on the importance of treatments for our diseases. And that was exciting. And then we started the International LGMD Conference. I don't know if anyone in here has ever been. Our next one's in Orlando, and you are all invited to come to the USA. And we're going to be right near Walt Disney World and Universal Studios, and everybody in here is invited. That's another one of our initiatives. One of the things that I thought would be most important for you as advocacy partners, and I think you guys are so wonderful in this room. We have one of our editors of this magazine is back here, Barbara. She lives in the UK. But this is an international magazine, and this is something that the Speak Foundation publishes. And we have copies of these, but you may already be registered and subscribed to it. But this is a free resource, and it has all of the drug developers in it, all the research that's cutting edge, anybody that's new in the field that's doing something for LGMD is in this magazine. We also put anything that would be helpful for you in terms of like emergency care, and I think this is a good resource for you. And anything that's newsworthy is going to end up in the magazine because we want to make sure everybody knows about it. And it's not just for 2I, it's for all of LGMDs. And you can also see a lot of the different orgs that are in it. We also work with Awareness Day, so we can get that out, and that's so important for everyone in here to do Awareness Day. And then in September, we're doing a limb-girdle muscular dystrophy day on the Hill in the US, but we do things all over and internationally. So I just wanted to say, I would love to meet you. I want to hear your story. I find it fascinating to hear what it's like from country to country. It's amazing how in one country it's completely different than in another. And wouldn't it be nice if we could like bring all the great things that everybody has together so that we all have the resources and care we need? That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? And we can work towards that as a huge community. So I'm thankful to be here, and I'll be talking with you guys as the day goes along. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathryn.
So I am part also of organizing and sponsoring that conference, LGMD2I Research Fund, and we are based in the US, in the West Coast, so it's very far from here. So I'm very glad to have met plenty of you. I talked to some of the family like maybe 8 years ago and never met them, so I'm very glad to meet you guys. But our fund is part of a larger foundation, and we were created in 2012 to fund research in especially LGMD2I. So at the time, there was absolutely no research scientific research in that domain. So we were created to do that. We are one of the main funders of research in LGMD2I, and of course now we collaborate with Cure LGMD2I, Kelly Brazo, that is going to be here. We do plenty of different type of funding. So for example, in 2015, we gave the money to Isabel Richard to start the research on gene therapy. And now she's developing that in a clinical trial. So we're very happy with this. But we also fund, for example, animal model, a mouse model that is very important to do research way before clinical trial. And we do plenty of things on biomarkers and all that. But also, we help fund or sponsor conferences, like the conference Kathy Matthews have in Iowa, thank you very much, or this one. And I make a point to try to talk to as many patients as I can to understand what's the struggle, the challenges, and what do they need. So he helps me in funding the research that we do.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you. Aleksandre, so I'm going to hand over to you, and you're going to speak about the LGMD CAP.
Yes. Thank you. I'm Aleksandre Leijenhorst. I live in the Netherlands, so this is home for me, but you are my family. So can you please say to each other, it's good that you are here and that we are together because we need each other. My journey in LGMD started with my son, who had LGMD2D. And I say he had because he was in the gene therapy and he is doing very well. For me, was that a sign to give back to the community. And in 2018, the European leaders, and most of them are here, Stefania Pedroni, Jessica Martin from Spain, Mélanie Bordes from France, and Kate Cook from the UK. We started to have monthly meetings and update each other from everything in their country. And there is a gap between, well, I have to say that we fight the disease and we are strong together. But also the pharmaceutical companies, they fight the disease with us. And we wanted to speed up the process and bring the pharmaceutical industry and the patient organizations together. So internal, we meet with already 12 countries. We have 2 Scandinavian countries. Then we have, of course, Central Europe. And the UK, because of Brexit, it's not Europe anymore, but you still... okay, I don't want that far. But, and then we have 2 people from Kenya and South Africa, India and the United States. And the beauty is we come together and we talk with pharmaceutical industry, but we talk about your wishes. We represent your voice. And I think that is very important because the trials will be better because the people in the pharmaceutical industry, they want to know how they can make trials as best for you, as comfortable. What do you need? What do you expect from trials? And what this is also important for regulators because when a product goes to the market, the EMA and the FDA said, have you spoken to the patients? So it is really important and it is all about you. And yeah, I'm just a coordinator and I'm very happy with my family. And I'm really happy that you are here on your Saturday. And I also want to thank the companies and the doctors because they work whole day, whole week. And in their free weekend, they make time for us. And I think this is so important because it makes us stronger together. And therefore, I think with all the changes, like 10 years ago, there was nothing. And now we have pharmaceutical companies for 2I already working on treatments. I think there is hope. And we have to keep hold on that hope and make each other stronger. And I really believe that in 10 years, there is a big change in landscape. And then we can say, we did this together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aleksandre.